Hello, YouTube. I've been mulling this video around in my head for quite some time. I actually asked specifically a friend of mine if I could talk about his story. And he said yes, and he stopped out one day. He says, "You didn't make a video about it yet." And I said, "Oh, I know." And I will say a big part of why I haven't made a video, and I don't even know if I'm going to upload this one, is it really affects me. One, this is a really good friend of mine, and I really super care about this guy. And two, it kind of concerns me about where my country lies. What I'm going to talk about is healthcare and where healthcare is here in Canada. Because we do not have a for-profit healthcare system here in Canada, we do not necessarily have A, the best doctors, or B, the doctors that actually give a crap. Because it's hard to give a crap about a lot of stuff if you're not getting something for yourself. Sorry, that's just a human trait. It happens. Now, anyone who's been watching my channel for quite some time will be aware that I've had several eye surgeries. I am probably having another eye surgery this winter. No dates are given, no information is given, because, well, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Part of that deals with transplant tissue being available, and another part of that is, well, we're going to see how funding lies, and once funding is there, then we'll do the surgery. Which, I'm not the richest guy in the world, but I would have loved to pay some money for some of my surgeries to just get them done sooner. I'm actually probably having to do, after the next, which would be a fourth surgery, because of how long it took to get my surgeries in line. Muscles atrophied, so stuff is permanently damaged without the help of medical marvels that we have today. So I'm a little bitter. I've had some very horrible experiences in my local hospital, which some are funny, some are not so funny. I mean, when you go to see your dad after having a stroke and you almost get escorted out by security, well, it can be funny if you're a messed up dude like me and go, well, I didn't actually get thrown off the property. But anyways, what this comes down to is I have a friend of mine that, due to the fact that we have huge shortage of doctors here in Canada, and especially in my area. If you know my area, good on you. If you don't, you can probably figure it out. Watch a few videos back. Shameless self-promotion. But I am in southwestern Ontario, and a friend of mine, he had a viral infection, and he was quite sick for quite a period of time. Does not have a family doctor, because that's the gold standard and gold key for here in Canada. You need to have a family doctor. If you do not have a family doctor, you are basically screwed. I was lucky. I did get a family doctor when my medical practice broke up. I still got a new doctor. I was lucky when I was younger. My friend, on the other hand, did not. But due to this fact of that he had a viral infection, it messed him up for quite some time. And this guy wants to work, loves to work, just work. It's probably why we get along. He doesn't want anything given to him. And what he did get given to him was a really crummy response later. And the response was, yeah, you are right. Your heart is buggered up due to the fact that you weren't cared for properly before. You only were dealing with emergency doctors, which I understand work in emergency. Guy I used to work for, his wife was an emergency nurse. I've been to emerge more times than I can count. It's a hard life to work and emerge. You shouldn't have to try to figure out people's medical history. But because of the lack of caring, the lack of understanding, instead of being cleared up and fixed up for a viral infection, now my buddy, who he's got a couple years on me, but he's not 50, found out after several trips to doctors, emergency doctors, all sorts of stuff, he not only needs to get a pacemaker, but he is getting put on, you need a new heart. Well, the whole transplant system here in Canada is a little screwed up. If you really look into it, it's scary, and I really hope for him. I'd give him mine, but he wouldn't want mine. It's cold and black. But because of the fact that we do not have a profit system here, people don't care the way they should. Yes, there is medical professionals out there that do it because they care. Those don't exist as much as you would like or hope they do. So, I'm going to make several parts to this series about my friend. I've talked to him about it. He said it's okay to talk about it. I'm not going to bring up his name or anything like that, but I will say this is a young guy, youngish guy, and he is now pegged for disability. So he cannot work for the level of drugs he's on. He's got beta blockers, all that stuff to try to slow down his heart. But the biggest problem is because he didn't have an actual doctor that was taking care of him, none of them, not a single one of them, until, correct me if I'm wrong, my friend, I know you'll watch it and talk to me in person, about 3 months ago, he actually had a doctor listen to him and set up some actual tests. And yeah, once they found that out, they discovered, oh, this is the actual problem. They were leading him on a totally different path. I mean, it was the worst I ever seen him. He came out here, he was bloated beyond reason because they put him on pills and they went, well, I'm not a family doctor, so I won't change your pills. You have heart palpitations, so we're going to put you on this blood pressure medication. He was so bloated, I barely recognized him. All from fluid. This man has probably lost well over 120 pounds in 2 months just from getting put on medication that's actually proper. So this is kind of a little bit of a rant. I know it's not quite right and straight, but I will say to my American friends, do not scream that you need socialized healthcare, because I can give you multiple examples in a handful of people in a very small area that would scream for just being able to go out and actually pay a little bit of money to get actually looked after. Like I said, guys, thanks for watching. And mouse. I hope it runs over the mousetrap. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, please comment. And I'd love to hear your horror stories with the hospitals, especially my fellow Canadians. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.